I'm joined here today with Charlene Rutherford, the CEO of the Royal Alex Hospital Foundation. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Shelby. It's great to be on the show.
Now, there has been a generous donation to support frontline healthcare workers and COVID-19 relief efforts at this hospital. Can you tell us more about this?
Absolutely. So, we've had many months going on almost 2 years where there's been a lot of difficult news to hear. But I think one of the bright lights and rays of sunshine has really been the capacity of individuals in the corporate sector to step up and really make a difference and to help our frontline care providers. And we saw an unbelievable example of that just the other day when our foundation received a call from Amazon Canada stating that they wanted to make a donation of $200,000 in support of frontline care providers here at the Royal Alexandria Hospital.
And what was reaction and response like when hearing that your hospital was receiving this donation from Amazon Canada?
Well, we were thrilled, of course, and we wanted to ask some more questions like, why did you choose us? What is, what's behind it? And, it really came down to the fact that the employees at the NISCU Fulfillment Center had really given Amazon corporate the idea that, look, if Amazon Canada was going to be giving support in this area, the employees at the NISCU Fulfillment Center really said, this is where we think it should go. So while the gift came from the company, the gift was shaped and totally influenced by the employees at the Fulfillment Center in NISCU. So we're really grateful to them for doing so. And when we probed a little deeper, the contact person at Amazon and on behalf of the employees also shared with us that there isn't really anyone there at the fulfillment center who hasn't also been touched by COVID-19, certainly either with family members themselves and certainly with how it's impacted our health system, and that there's people there who have had their surgeries canceled or postponed as a result of this. So they really understand the impacts of the pandemic, both in terms of society, but also the toll it's taking on our healthcare workers.
And now with this generosity, what's the plan now for Royal Alex to use this money towards exactly?
Yeah. You know what? There's a lot of ways in which we can use this, but what the intent is to continue to build upon the private rest areas that we've established throughout the hospital, and certainly one large major rest area in the main building of the ATC, which is the Active Treatment Center. And inside that space, which is very private, we've got a number of recliners, individual little tables in there set up. And that is so that our frontline care providers can have a place of peace and quiet and some tranquility. The ability to just sit in a soft chair and to be able to put your feet up for 10, 15 minutes is really beneficial, and they appreciate it so very much. So we have those rest areas throughout the hospital that we're establishing, and we need to do that because, of course, the ICU has expanded here. We have more people here. And there's also the need for on-site counseling services. Now that we're well into 20 months into this pandemic, the on-site counseling services are there, and that's exactly what this donation is going to be helping to pay for. So, yeah. There's also the opportunity to purchase some additional equipment in the expanded ICUs. So that's also very important too.
And is there a message you'd like to share now after having this experience and seeing the support from Amazon Canada, especially?
I'd really like to say a huge and heartfelt thank you to Albertans for reaching out to this hospital and other hospitals throughout the province who are coping with the pandemic and who have layered on, the busyness of healthcare anyway, have layered on the needs that this pandemic has resulted in. I mean, we have to remember that, the Royal Alex has one of the busiest emergency departments in all of Alberta, and our intensive care unit is one of the busiest in Western Canada. So that was before the pandemic. So we have this, we also have, remember, an opioid crisis taking place too, right? With opioid poisonings. So between those two things and the regular business of the ICU, it's a very busy time, and we can understand why the stress of this situation over time is taking its toll. So thank you to Albertans for reaching out and supporting this hospital and others during this time. It's really meaningful.
It's amazing to see how strong the support is towards Royal Alex Hospital, especially through this pandemic. And congratulations once again on receiving this generous donation. And thanks so much for joining us again today, Charlene.
Thank you, Shelby, and thank you so much for your interest in this story. And thank you to Amazon.